Hello, hello. I am at the luxurious Castlemartyr Resort in County Cork. This is my first time visiting this property, and to say I'm impressed is kind of an understatement. I am absolutely blown away. Now, I'm going to tell you more about that, but first I have a terrific question from Anthony B. Anthony says, I am an Australian visiting Ireland for the first time in a few weeks. I'm traveling with my partner and a 12-year-old son. Out of Dublin, Cork, or Belfast, I wanted to ask which of the three jails should I be prioritizing? We're visiting all three cities, but I feel we probably don't need to do all three jails. This is a terrific, terrific question. And I'm just going to say I am relatively fresh off visiting Kilmainham jail for the second time, and that tour is absolutely amazing. But each jail has their own history, right? So Kilmainham jail in Dublin, it's very notable for the 1916 rising, with the inmates being kept there and then the executions. And it's that story of Irish independence, right? It's the kind of that gut-wrenching part. And then obviously you have the history with the workhouses and the famine and everything like that. So it's a really moving tour. And I think it's well worth doing. Now, that said, I don't know that it's a must. Traveling with a 12-year-old. There were kids on the tour. I will say that the guide did an amazing job with the children on the tour. They never were bored. So take that for what it's worth, I guess. I think Kilmainham Jail is a terrific tour. Now, that said, Kilmainham has guided tours only, but another bonus to that is that it is part of the OPW heritage sites. So if you're traveling around Ireland and you get an OPW heritage card, you can visit without paying an additional fee. Do remember that when you visit Kilmainham Jail, you do need to pre-book that 28 days in advance. I would go as close to midnight Irish time as you can to book those tickets, but definitely you have to book those in advance. They do sell out even in the off season. So I think Kilmainham is well worth it. It's a terrific tour. Then you have the Cork City Jail. Now, the Cork City Jail is going to be kind of your 19th century prison experience. Now, they did have notable prisoners down there. You're going to hear stories about the prisoners that were there, and they do have some interactive stuff there. So that makes it really great with kids. Another nice thing about the Cork City Jail is that you can do self-guided tours. You can do audio tours. So it's self-guided with like audio in your ears, and you can do guided tours. So you have multiple options in the Cork City Jail. It also doesn't sell out as quickly as Kilmainham does. So you can usually get tickets to the Cork City Jail the day before, or even sometimes the day of your visit. So that makes it really, really nice. Now, up in Belfast, you have the Crumlin Road Jail. Now, that one's notable for the Troubles. So, it's got some really, really interesting history. That said, is it a good tour with a 12-year-old? That's going to depend on your 12-year-old, to be honest. I would not have probably taken my 12-year-old daughter on that tour, but sometimes that just depends on your guide, because she did the Troubles Black Cab tour with us and had no issues, but we had an absolutely amazing guide who had young daughters. So he was very good about sharing the story in a way that the girls could understand but not be too horrified by. The Crumlin Road Jail also has both self-guided and guided tours. It's another one that's not going to sell out a month in advance. So I think that if you're looking for my input, I think I almost feel like the Cork City Jail, just because it has that little bit of interactivity to it, is going to be a really fun jail for a 12-year-old to visit. But in my mind, the Kilmainham jail, it's just such an exceptional tour, and it really kind of gets to the heart of Ireland itself and the Free State. So I hope that advice helps. I realize that it's one of those things that is very much a preferential choice. But I hope that gave you just a little bit of guidance, and I hope you have a terrific time in Ireland. All right, now I'm moving on to today. Like I said, I am sitting in the Castlemartyr Resort in a beautiful, massive, spacious room. If you've been listening since my very first podcast from Dublin, in the smallest room known to man, I could probably fit, I'm going to say, 5 to 6 of those rooms in my superior room here at Castlemartyr. It's kind of funny to think about comparing the two. But before I talk about that, I do want to make one mention, because I went through Cobh today. I had a little bit of time to kill. And even though I'm going to be back in Cobh in about 2.5 weeks with a tour group, I just kind of wanted to walk around, get my bearings a little bit. So I was going to be prepared when we got there, because it's been a while since I've spent much time in Cobh. And I wanted to share a tip with you about getting that epic shot of St. Colman's Cathedral that you see with the colorful townhouses lined up in front of it. So to get that shot, you climb to the top of what is called Spy Hill. Now, Spy Hill is, so if you're standing in Cobh, you want to find the Cobh Museum. And then from there, you're going to walk uphill on Joseph Mary Plunkett Way. Okay, and it's just going to kind of start to slope uphill. You're going to come to a fork. So you want to keep left at the fork and keep climbing. Going to get a little steeper. It is a bit of a climb up there. When the road finally becomes flat, you're going to face the cathedral. You'll see the spire. And you're going to hold your camera or your phone up on the top of the wall. So there's a tall wall there. I'm 5'5" almost. And there's no way I'm seeing over this wall. It's not for short people. But I could put my phone up there and I could see on my phone the picture I was taking. And with the digital cameras, you can, move the screen so you can hold your camera up and still be able to see the screen. So you can get the shot right there. So whatever you read that says you have to climb the wall, you don't need to climb the wall. You're still going to get a great picture of the the deck of cards. So that's what the houses, those colorful townhouses, are called, the deck of cards. And you're going to get that great picture of the deck of cards with the cathedral in the back. No worries about falling off a wall. All right, now on to Castlemartyr Resort. As I said, this is the first time I have been to this property. It was recently refurbished in the last couple of years. It was purchased by some new owners, and they came in and they have redone so much. There's new reception areas, new dining experiences, golf course. It's just an absolutely stunning place. And yeah, like I said, I'm blown away. My room is absolutely massive. It has a bathroom to rival anything I've ever seen. Just huge. It has a massive soaking tub, a huge shower with a big rain shower head, and marble everywhere. Just absolutely gorgeous. This is a 5-star property, and you can tell it's just a terrific from the greeting to the staff. Everything has been absolutely amazing. Now, on this property, you have the ruins of a castle, so hence the name Castlemartyr. There's also a 17th century manor house and then the modern resort. And the castle obviously sits off to the side, but the manor house and the resort, the new modern resort hotel, are connected. They blend together from the interior very seamlessly. From the exterior, it actually isn't that big of a visual break that you would expect to see. The architects did an amazing job. I ate tonight at the Canopy restaurant, and I had the chef's menu. So it was choice of starter and an entree and a dessert, and then I had a little amuse-bouche before, and then there was the palate cleansing sorbet, and everything was just spectacular. I'm in a little bit of a food coma. If you can't tell, I'm kind of rambly a little bit, but it was just absolutely phenomenal, and a terrific experience. Unfortunately, I'm only here for the one day. This is a place that I will say, if you're planning to come here, it's so nicely located in kind of the eastern Cork area. So you're half an hour from Cork City, no, maybe 45 minutes from Cork City, half an hour from Cobh. You're 10 minutes from Middleton Distillery. You're not that far from so many other spots. So it's a great spot to base yourself for a couple of days and enjoy kind of this eastern part of Cork that maybe a lot of people do miss. So, so far, I highly recommend it, and I'm looking forward to getting up in the morning, kind of walking around the resort and enjoying the grounds and things before I have to leave. There are on-site activities I want to mention. So obviously they have golf, they have archery, they have laser clay pigeon shooting, tennis, they have a spa, and in the summer months they have a kids club. So plenty to keep you busy, keep you active, and like I said, a really, really great location. So if you want to see a little bit more, go ahead and click through to the show notes, and I'm going to put up some pictures that I have taken today since I arrived. Now, don't forget, I do want to hear your questions. So if you have an Ireland travel question or just a question about Ireland in general, just email them to me, Jody, Jody, at IrelandFamilyVacations.com. Write podcast question in the subject line, and be sure to let me know how I can introduce you so I can give you a little shout out on the podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and until tomorrow, slán go fóill.